Hi friends, welcome to We All Learn Today. I am Rajathi. So in this video we are going to discuss about JavaScript. First we have to know what is JavaScript. So JavaScript is a dynamic computer programming language. It is an interpreted programming language with object-oriented capabilities. So JavaScript was first known as LiveScript, but Netscape changed its name to JavaScript, possibly because of excitement being generated by Java. But anyway, there is no connection between a Java and a JavaScript. Both are a different way. Okay. So JavaScript made its first appearance in Netscape 2.0 version in 1995 with the name of LiveScript. Big companies like Netflix and Walmart and Table build entire application around JavaScript. So average salary of JavaScript developer in the United States is $72,000 per year. So next we have to know what's its history, right? So first name is Mosha and then LiveScript, and after that the name was changed as a JavaScript. So these are some frameworks of JavaScript. We will discuss in a later way. So first we discuss about client-side JavaScript. It means that a web page need not to be static HTML, but can include programs that interact with the user and control the browser and dynamically create HTML content. So the JavaScript client-side mechanism provide many advantages over traditional CGI, which is nothing but common gateway interface, and server-side script. For example, you might use JavaScript to check if the user has entered a valid email address in the form. So JavaScript code is executed when the user submits the form, and only if all entries are valid, they could be submitted to the web server. So this is the client-side JavaScript. Okay. So next we will see some advantages of the JavaScript. So it less server interaction and immediate feedback to the visitors and increased interactivity and richer interface. These are the 4 advantages we have in a JavaScript. So first, less server interaction, which means you can validate user input before sending the page off to the server. This saves the server traffic, which means less load on the server. So obviously less server interaction is done here. And then immediate feedback to the visitor. They don't have to wait a page reload to see if they have forgotten to enter something. So it will immediate feedback to the visitor. And third one is increased interactivity. So you can create interface that react when user hover over them with a mouse or interact them via keyboard. So finally, richer interfaces. You can use JavaScript to include such items as drag and drop, and components and slider to give rich interface to a site visitor. So these are the some advantages we are using in the JavaScript. So obviously, some limitations is here. So just nothing but we can't treat JavaScript as a full-fledged programming language. It lacks the following important features, which is nothing but client-side JavaScript does not allow the reading or writing files. This has been kept for security reasons. And then JavaScript cannot be used for networking application because there is no such support available. So JavaScript does not have any multi-threading or multi-processor capability. So once again, JavaScript is a lightweight interpreted language that allows you to build interactive into otherwise a static HTML page, which means you only create the interaction Otherwise, it's like a static page. Okay, so building the interactive is your hand. Next, JavaScript development tool. So one of the major strength of the JavaScript is that it does not require expensive development tool. So you can start with a simple text editor such as Notepad. Since it's an interpreted language, inside the context of the web browser, you don't even need to buy a compiler. So no need to buy a compiler like a C and C++. For that language, we have to buy some compilers, right? So that the issues will not happen while we are using the JavaScript. So JavaScript editing tools, first one is Microsoft Front Page and Macromedia Dreamweaver and then Macromedia Home Site File. Okay, where is JavaScript today? So whatever language you are studying, you have to know what is the latest release version. Okay, so for that, it's currently used actually 94.5% of all websites. We are using the JavaScript. Okay, so this is ECMAScript 2020 is the latest version of the official specifications underlying the JavaScript. Was formally approved by ECMA. So ECMA means European Computer Manufacturers Association and technical committee overseeing the specification. So today, Netscape JavaScript and Microsoft script confirm the ECMAScript standard, although both the languages still support the features that are not part of the standard. Okay. And okay, so from this part we will see about what is what is JavaScript and what is the use of it and advantage, limitations, everything we are seeing. So now only we are getting into the program. Okay, so first any programming language if you are studying means everything has some syntax, right? So same we have to learn the syntax first. So JavaScript can be implemented using JavaScript statement that is placed within script tag. So this is called a tag, script tag, and then closing script tag in a web page. And you can place the script tag contain your JavaScript anywhere within your web page. But it's normally recommended that you should keep it within the head file, which is head tag. The script tag alerts the browser programmer to start interpreting all the text in between these tags script. So this is the syntax. Inside this script code, you have to give your JavaScript code. Okay. Next. So actually, the script tags have two important attributes. Okay. The first one is language, and the second one is type. So the language attributes specify what script language you are using. Typically, its your value will be JavaScript. Although recent version of HTML and XHTML, it's a successor and have passed out use of these attributes. Okay, and the type. So this attribute, what is now recommended to indicate the scripting language in use, and its value should be set as text inside the double quotes. Just give text slash JavaScript. So that is the two important attributes in a JavaScript. Next, so this is the first line code. Every programming language, we already know the very first programming is nothing but just printing hello world. That's it. Okay, the same coding is we are seeing how to write in JavaScript. So as usual, HTML tag and then body tag, and inside the body tag we are giving the script and then attribute language, and type is one of the attribute, and then after that we have to give document dot write. This is the printing line statement. In a C we are using the printf statement. C++ we are using the cout statement. When we are come to the JavaScript, here we have to use document dot write, and then inside the parentheses we have to give anything, any message or any text within the double quotes. Okay, the output is nothing but just printing the hello world in a web browser. Next, so let's see some are the practical advantages. So actually, first, white space and line break. So JavaScript ignores space, tab, new line that appears in the JavaScript program. This is the very first advantage. Actually, if you are practicing with the C or C++ means without white space, the small space is considered as an error actually in C. So when it comes to the JavaScript, it ignores the space and tabs and new line that appears in the JavaScript program, and you can use space, tab and new line freely in your program. You can use anywhere, and you are free to format and indent your program in the neat and consistent way that makes your code easy to read and easy to understand also. So this is the very first advantages. The next is semicolon are optional. So like I say, you should not give semicolon at the end of the statement in every time. There is no need. It's optional. Okay. Simple statement in a JavaScript are generally followed by semicolon character, just as they are in C and C++ and Java. However, allows you to omit this semicolon if each of your statement are placed on separately. For example, the following code could be written without semicolon. See, here I am just giving the two type of examples. So in the first, you just see the highlighter lines, the var1 equal to 10, var2 equal to 20. So here I am not using the semicolon here, but it works. Okay. But when formed in a single line as follows, you must use semicolon. Okay. If I'm trying to give var1 equal to 10 and var2 equal to 20 in a single line means, and that time we have to use semicolon. Okay. Next, we have to discuss about case sensitive, right? So JavaScript is a case sensitive language. This means that the language, keyword, variable, functioning and any other identifiers must always be typed with the consistent capitalization of letter. So the identifiers time and the time will be convey different meanings in the JavaScript. The cache should be taken while writing variable function name in a JavaScript. This is the example of case sensitive. So see, the both sides they are giving the page name and the password. Everything except the any alphabet is same. But case sensitive, the small a is not equal to capital A. Okay. Next, commands. The commands in a JavaScript. The JavaScript support both C style and C++ style. Okay. So actually what is the use of comment means, it's nothing but it's a understanding of the user only. The compiler can ignore. Compiler will ignore. It won't consider when you are giving something under the command. Okay. So any text between a double slash and end of the line is treated as a command and is ignored by a JavaScript. Okay, and any text between the characters slash star and it end with a star slash is treated as a command. This may span multiple lines. So double slash is for only single line. If you are giving slash star and star slash means you can command as a multiple line. And finally, JavaScript also recognizes the HTML opening statement sequence, less than and the exclamation and the double hyphen. Okay. So this is the example. Here I am just giving that example. So here we are using the slash star and the star slash. And this is the single line command double slash. So this is the example. They are using double slash and the star slash star for multi-line and double slash for the single line. And warning for non-JavaScript browser. So if you have to do something important using JavaScript, then you can display a warning message to user using no script tag. In your system, there is no JavaScript is no scripting is available means it will intimate by using that no script tag. Okay, so this is the use HTML tag body, and then we are using the script tag, and after that script tag we are using no script. If in your browser having the script tag means the hello world will be printed, otherwise it will print sorry JavaScript is needed to be go ahead. Okay, so we can get the knowledge about whether the system have a scripting language or not by using the no script tag. Next, so JavaScript placement in a HTML file. So where we have to place in the scripting tag. So we are up to this. We will very well know about where we have to place in this JavaScript code inside obviously inside the scripting, right? We know, and in that scripting tag we have to place the whether it's a head tag or body tag. Okay, so let's see one by one. Scripting head tag section also possible, body tag and head tag, and then final one is script in an external file, that is include in the head section. Okay, let's see one by one. So this is the scripting tag. Okay, so this is the first one, scripting in head section. So inside the head section we are using the script tag. Okay, so script tag is placed inside the body section. Here, third one is nothing but script is both body and head tag. Okay, we are using the head tag and the body tag as well. Here, body tag. Okay, and then final one is JavaScript in an external file. So there is no need to place all those coding in a one program. We can separate JavaScript as a new notepad. We are just saving this as a file name .js. This is that file, external file. So next, we have to know what are the data types available in a JavaScript. So like a C, in a C we have an integer, float, double, and then character, right? So here JavaScript it have only 3 data types. So JavaScript allows you to work with the 3 primitive data types: numbers, string, and booleans. So numbers. Number means it's a 1, 2, 3, any numbers, okay. And then JavaScript is also defined 2 trivial data types, which is null and undefined. So each of which defines only a single value. So in addition to these primitive data types, JavaScript support a composite data type known as object. So we will cover object in the detail in a separate chapter. Okay. If you have any clarity means just comment me below. I will give a separate video for that. So you just note one thing. JavaScript not make a distinction between values of floating point or integer point. Everything is treated as a number. Actually, in a C, we have different type of data types for saving a print for printing, or we are declaring a whole number. We are using integer. For fraction part, we are using the float. Right? There is no discrimination for number here. So here number is one data type is enough to store any whole number or fraction part. Okay, and all numbers in a JavaScript are represented as floating point values. So JavaScript represented number using the 64-bit floating point format defined by the IEEE 754 standard. Okay. So next, JavaScript variables. So we have to know variables. Like many other programming language, JavaScript has variables. So variables can be thought of as named containers. You can place data into these containers and then refer to the data simply by naming the container. So before you use a variable in a JavaScript program, you must declare it. So we are already know. Okay. So variables are declared with the var keyword as follows. So declaration is var. And JavaScript variable have only two scopes. One is global and the other is local. Global variable has global scope, which means it can be defined anywhere in your JavaScript code. But when it comes to the local variable, it will be visible only within a function. So where it is defined. So function parameters are always local to that function. This is the example. So global, this is the way we have to declaring a variable. So var keyword and then money, var keyword and then name. Okay. And then var, my var is equal to global. This is the way we have to declare the global variable. And second one, function check scope. So this is the way we have to declare a local variable. So this local variable is only work out inside the check scope function. Okay. So these are the some reserved words in a JavaScript. So as a rules as you study rules in C, the same rules is applicable. You should not use these words as a variable name. Okay, you should not use var else, var enum, var while, var do, var void. These are the things which are invalid. Okay. So these are the reserved words we should not use in a variable. Okay. Next is the operators. So JavaScript operators. So arithmetic operator, comparison operator. So it will in a comparison operator it will give a result as a true or false. And then logical or relational operator, assignment operator, conditional or ternary operator, and the final type of operator. Okay, see that these are the corresponding operators. Okay. So this is I will just give only one a single program for everything. Okay. So this is the way we have to declaring a variable var a equal to 33. Okay, and then this is we can give the break line. So we are just inside the double quotes we are using br tag by using the line break variable, and in the printing statement I am just printing the line break. It's nothing but I am just giving the break. So result a plus b, a minus b, a slash b. These are the arithmetic operations. So likewise we can use any operators. So this is the sample one. We can use any operators like this way. So JavaScript type of operators. So these are the types: number, string, boolean, object, undefined, and none. So type of means this will be getter. Okay. And then, so we are just getting to the control statement. So totally three: conditional control statement, looping or iterative statement, break and continue. Okay. In a conditional, as usual, if else statement and a switch statement. In a looping, we have a for loop, while loop, do while. So let's see one by one. So if else, in a if else, we are dividing into simple if else, if statement. Okay. So this is one example. If we are giving, we are first declaring the variable var age equal to 15, and we are just checking whether the age is above 18 or not. So if age is greater than 18, it's true means the true block will be executed, or else block will be executed. Okay, this is the example of if statement. Next is a switch case. So this is where we have to use the switch. Same way. Only the printing statement is different. So here we are using document.write. Okay. Next, looping. So we have a looping concept here: while loop, do while loop, for loop, and finally it's a break and continue. Okay. So looping statement. And functions. So actually looping is the same. So what are the things we are seeing in decision making, right? If else, same process, same. Only thing is the while and the condition. Actually, you know about the syntax, because we are seeing many things clearly in the C programming playlist. So the same syntax is followed here. So that's why I'm not taking many examples for a looping statement. Same way. So same syntax as in a C. So for a break, we say break and then end with a semicolon. Continue and end with a semicolon. Okay. And then finally, JavaScript functions. A function is a group of reusable code which can be called anywhere in your program. So this eliminates the needs of writing same code again and again, and functions allow a programmer to divide a big program into a smaller and manageable function. So like any other advanced programming language, JavaScript also supports all features necessary to write modular code using function. So you must have seen function like alert, write. Okay, so these are the some predefined functions, and also JavaScript allows us to write our own function as well. Okay, so JavaScript function definition, calling function, function parameter, and return statement. So this is the example. Function is a keyword, and then function name, and then param1, param2 is nothing but function parameter, and then this is the function statement. Inside the function open and close curly braces, we can call this as a statement of the function. And then return statement is we have a keyword is a return. Okay. So function definition. So this is the way we have to define a function. Before we use a function, we need to define it. The most common way to define a function in a JavaScript is by using the function keyword, followed by a unique function. You should not give the reserved words. Okay. So a list of parameters that might be empty. So a statement block surrounding by curly braces. The function say hello. So here the function name is say hello. Okay. The alert will be, it will give some dialog box with the hello there. Okay. So actually this will be happen when it will call, right? So next is calling function. So to invoke a function somewhere later in a script, you would simply need to write a name of that function as shown in the following code. So this is the way we have to invoking the function. So function of say hello, and then you can give the code. Okay. So this is the way actually the input button on click even say hello. So if you are calling say hello means it will call that function. Okay. And then functions parameter. So parameter, till now we have seen functions without parameter, so which is nothing but empty parenthesis. Okay. So but there is a facility to pass different parameters while calling a function. So these passed parameters can be captured inside a function, and any manipulation can be done over those parameters. A function can take multiple parameters separated by comma. Okay. So here I am just taking the example from the C. So don't confuse. Actually, int data type there is not available in a JavaScript. I am just showing that parameter only and just taken that image. A, B is a parameter. Okay. So JavaScript function. This is the original parameters in a JavaScript. Okay. So the function say hello. The say hello is a function name. Name comma age. Here name comma age is the parameter of the function. Okay. When it comes to the body tag, we are giving on in the on click event. The name is gold and age is 7. Okay. So the gold and 7 is the value of the attribute. Okay. Next, the final one is return statement. So the return statement, the JavaScript function can have an optional return statement. This is secured if you want to return any value from the function. This statement should be a lost statement in a function. For example, you can pass two numbers in a function, then you can expect the function to return their multiplication in your calling program. So this is the highlighting part. We have to use the return statement. Return is a keyword. Okay. And then event. So this is the main, very main concept actually, because before that we are seeing decision making, looping, break statement, continuous, which case everything is already we are used in any languages. Okay. But this is event is a main role played in the JavaScript actually. So when the page loads, it is called an event. Okay. When the user click a button, then click to that an event. So other example include events like pressing any key, closing a window, resizing a window, etc. These all are called as an event. Okay. Developer can use these events to execute JavaScript coded responses, which causes button to close window, message to display a user, data to be validated, and virtually any other type of response imaginable. Okay, these are the events. Click on click event, double click event, right click, mouse over, mouse out, mouse down, mouse up, key press, key down, key up, load, unload, resize code. These are some examples. Actually, many number of events are available actually. Okay. Very first and very common one is on-click event. So this is the most frequently used event type, which occurs when a user clicks the left button of the mouse. So you can put your validation, warning, etc. So against this event type. So this is inside the script. We are just giving that function name and then alert box. So let's see the body tag. Here I am just using the input type. Inside the input tag I am just using the on click event attribute. Okay. This on submit. So on submit is an event that occurs when you try to submit a form. You can put your form validation against this event type. So if validate function is written true, the form will be submitted, otherwise it will not submit. Okay. So this is the example. Function is a validation function. Here you can validation goes here, and then script is we can process script as well as the head. So next is a body tag. So body tag we are using the on submit. Okay. So on submit is written validate. We are just calling that function. So whether we have to check every field is entered or not. If there is any is not entered or any mismatch means the form will not submit. Okay. So this is the example. We are just giving that record field. If you are given is empty means we cannot submit the form. Okay. We can restrict actually. Next, mouse over and mouse out event. So, on mouse over and on mouse out. These two events types will help you create nice effect with image or even with text as well. So, the mouse on over event triggers when you bring your mouse over any element, and the mouse out triggers when you move your mouse out from the element. Okay. So if you are moving that element means if you are getting into that text or image means the color will be changed or it will be zoom in or zoom out. Some animations will be taken, some effects you can add it. Okay, through the mouse over and mouse out. So this is the real time example. This is my system. I just taken it. So this is a Google browser. Here I'm just I'm just moving my mouse to the Gmail, and then this is called as a mouse over. Okay, so totally the highlighted square box will be appeared if I will not move my mouse. I'm just stay here means, and after that it will give the tooltip is Gmail. Okay, so this is a real-time example of a mouse over and a mouse out. If I if I move the mouse from here means the highlighted square will be disappear. So that is called on mouse out. Okay. Next, this is the way we have to use mouse over and mouse on mouse out. Okay. So the head function we are using the function over and function out. Two type of functions we are using. One is over and one is out. And everything is every main process is based. It's based on a body tag only. So here the body tag. Inside we are using on mouse. We are calling that over function. On mouse out we are calling the out function. So this is the way we have to add some effective to the page. This is the way we have to rectify the static page. Okay. Next, these are the some standard functions available. Standard events available in a JavaScript. Okay. So many events are available. Actually, I'm just taken a small the first half. You can say this is first half. So actually many events are available. So for that only I am just giving 2 or 3 example by using the on click event, on submit event, on mouse over event. So that is the way we have to use that using way. So in this video, I'm just covering all those important things. I'm not getting into the deep one. So I'm just giving what is JavaScript and then history and then advantage and then limitations and then uh, basic things, variables, data types, everything. So events and then control statement. In a control statement, we have a if then if else if let us switch case, break statement, continue statement, while, do while, and then for. So for every that I'm just giving 1 or 2 examples. So the same way, same process, same syntax is used in everything. Okay, if you have any doubt in this video, means you just comment below, and if you have interest to do the JavaScript videos additionally, means just comment below. I will prepare for that. Okay, so I think this video will be useful for you, and finally thanks for watching.